class. So in today's class, we're going to be learning how to do another cocktail fascinator. This is quite simple but classic design. I believe you're going to enjoy it. I've gone ahead to do a few steps just so that the video doesn't get longer, but I'm going to be talking to you about it in a minute. So before we get right into it, I'd like to say a massive thank you if you're a subscriber of this channel. If you are not yet a subscriber of the channel, I would advise that you subscribe now and hit on the notification bell just so that you'll be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. As usual, we do different kinds of tutorial videos. You stand to benefit from a whole lot from just one channel by subscribing. Thank you very much. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to help you develop your stencil. In front of me, I have an A4 sheet. On that sheet, you'll do a straight line 9 inches and find the midpoint of that line, and that is going to be 4.5 inches. At that point, I'm going to be making a mark, and then on this line I'm going to be drawing 2.5 inches line across that point. So you have to place your ruler at the bit that says 1.25, and that's here. So 1.25 on this end, 1.25 on that end. Okay, you're trying to develop this stencil. The next thing you do is to connect your point. So I'm going to go ahead to connect my point into a diamond shape, kind of. Okay, very simple design, into a diamond shape, and then we round off the edges. So at this point, we're just going to round off these edges. Okay, round off these edges, and then we cut out the shape. All right, so basically that is it, round off the edges. If you have an armhole curve, I think that will make it quite easier. So you just use your armhole curve to round off the corners of your shape like that. And do the same for this bit. If you want equal shape, what you can do next is just to cut from here up to here, fold it onto the other side and cut it as well, so that you can have equal shapes. You can see that is exactly what I have done. So you can cut it on this end, flip it onto the other side, trace the shape out and cut it so that you can have equal shapes on both sides. Now let's get on with cutting your shape on your cinnamon. All right, so in cutting your shape on your cinnamon, you have to be working at a bias. For the sake of those who don't understand what a bias is, your cinnamon comes in a rectangular form, or whichever shape it comes in when it is cut out. So you get your piece. Let's say this is your cinnamon piece. You're going to be cutting diagonally at a diagonal grain instead of a cross grain, because we want the stretch in your cinnamon. So cutting it this way, straight like this, is cutting at the cross grain, but we don't want that. We want it at the point of stretch. So you get it from the corners, okay? And that is what we call cutting on a bias, from the corners, and then you can cut it that way or cut it that way, so far as it's going across and not going vertical or horizontal, but you're placing it diagonal. That should be fine. So you're going to cut 8 of this shape. Okay, for me, I've decided to use 2 different colors of cinnamon. So I did 4 of the shape in black and 4 of the shape in ivory, or you can say off-white, or whatever you want to call it. So this is what we're going to be doing. I've gone ahead to finish off my edges. So I've done the edging, but I'm going to tell you exactly what to do with that. All right, so let's say this is your shape. All right, you can see that I cut at a bias. When I do this, there's stretch in there. I don't want to stretch it too much because that is not what I want to do. But if you want to see that you cut at a bias, you see that the grain of your cinnamon, or the warp and the weft threads, go diagonal to each other. You can see, and that is what means that you're cutting on a bias. So when you've done that, you're going to be folding the edges. At this point, when you're doing the edging, you can either do the rolled effect or the fold effect. I always prefer the folding effect, but it's entirely up to you. You can do the rolled effect. So what I have done with the folding effect is just to use my thumb and my forefinger as the guide, and then press it towards my thumb like that. This helps me create the path for the fold. All right, and it makes it easier to fold. So I'll do that along all the edges. and then come in again and then fold it flat down. So you do 2 folds on each side. All right, so I've done 1 fold. I'll come in again and do my second fold, and then put it down flat. Okay, there's a last step to this shape, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. What you're going to do is just with your thumb and forefinger for both hands, you're going to be pulling it down like that. Stretch it gently, because we want to create this curved effect just at the edge. So just at the tip here, you hold it and then you pull it gently. You pull it gently. You see, you can see that I'm getting my bended shape. So that is what I did with all of these, and I have 4 in each color. So we're going to go on to the next step. Now the next step is to wrap our Alice band with a matching color for the cinnamon, and I have chosen black. Hopefully this ribbon will be able to take me through it all, but if it doesn't, I'm going to swap it for this other ribbon, but I pray that this works for me. So we're going to start wrapping it, and as we wrap it, we arrange our cinnamon shape alternatively. Okay, I've also got some feathers that I have cut and shaped here. I'll talk to you about it in a minute as we go on with forming our design. Let's get on with it. I want to secure the edge of my ribbon, so I'm going to get some flame to burn it down just to make it secured and prevent it from fraying. Okay, so I've just bent the edges for my ribbon here. I'm going to get some Ohu Glow onto this tip here, and then we're going to start wrapping ribbon. All right, so I've started wrapping. As you can see from this corner here, I've started wrapping, and I'm going to first get one of my cinnamons shaped, and I'm going to place it here. Okay, I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to wrap my ribbon quite tight onto it. I think at this point it's quite pointed here, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit. And then I'm going to place it here, and then I'm going to wrap my ribbon around it. Okay, we make sure that it's properly positioned so that it's kind of in the middle of our ribbon here. You can see that it's laying neatly in the middle. So I'm going to carry on and now go lift my cinnamon out of the way and carry on wrapping. You can see I'll do like a couple like that, and then I'll get the white cinnamon and bring it here. So we are doing like a staggered effect of wrapping. We are doing like a staggered effect of arrangement and wrapping our cinnamon in place. So I'm going to go in like that. You make sure that it's rightly positioned before you wrap it up tight. Okay. So I'm going to lift the second one up and then bring my ribbon to wrap it so that we can get our next cinnamon onto it. So my next cinnamon is going to be black. All right. Let me chop this off a little bit, okay, and then I'll place it here. And then bring our ribbon tightly wrapped onto it. Don't worry about the ribbons lifting up as you go ahead. When we finish, we will put them back in shape, but we make sure that we're getting all of them in the right place as it should be. So as you can see, I'm going to carry on till I have placed all my cinnamon onto the piece. So I'm going to carry on arranging them like that. Remember, you're going to arrange them white, you're going to arrange them black, ivory, black, in that manner. All right, you don't have to use black and ivory like I have done. You can use different colors so far as they complement each other. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fix them all on and then bring it back. All right, so this is what I have finished attaching all of them. They seem to have lifted up a bit, but don't worry, we'll put them in the right shape afterwards. So I'm going to carry on wrapping my Alice band with my black ribbon. Hopefully I'll be able to get to the end. All right, so here we are done. I put a few feathers in place. As you can see, I just put one here with the help of my uhu glue. I've just stuck it down. Hopefully it's going to stick down over there. I've done the same on this layer here as well, and I've done one at the bottom and I put one here at the top. So basically that is it for today's cocktail fascinator. We've come to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give our video a thumbs up. Just before I sign out, I'd like to continue to introduce you to Podcast with Sheila, which is another channel of mine that is used for spreading positivity around the world by sharing inspiring life stories. So we bring people on board to come and share their inspiring life experiences as a way to encourage us and give us hope, to let us know that if others were able to do it, we can do it as well. If you like it, please subscribe and don't forget to share our episodes and help us spread positivity around the world. Until we meet again in our next tutorial video, have a brilliant week and stay safe.